Living under a rock, you've seen the insane hype around Connor Bedard leading up to the new NHL season. Deservingly so. The kid is special, and the NHL is making sure you know about it. All preseason, it's been building up to last night, where they must have mentioned or shown Bedard at least 100 times during the season-opening Tampa-Nashville game alone. All the promo, the storylines around playing his childhood hero. Oh look, he forgot his stick. He wasn't wearing a bucket to take his rookie lap. Safe to say, the spotlight has been bright on Bedard. But finally, it was time. We got to the opening face-off.
Connor, welcome to the NHL, man. Thank you. Okay, guys, still time. Have a great game.
Which I thought was really cool personally. If Bedard even halfway lives up to his hype, this is obviously going down as a pretty iconic moment here. But we are one game into the season, and people have gotten sick of this quickly. Just so many complaints about it being a gimmick, that he's overrated or he's not ready for the NHL, but most of all, that they're just so tired of hearing this kid's name. Now, it's just the beginning of the season, but I have a feeling that we're going to be hearing about this a lot this season, and for me personally, I'm already getting tired of that. The truth is, a lot of these same people have complained for years that the NHL never markets its players and that they need to grow the game by showing the personalities, which I don't necessarily disagree with. The league has done that poorly in the past. But the fact that you're sick of seeing and hearing about him is proof that you've been seeing and hearing about him a lot. And that means the NHL is marketing their newest star player, who happens to be in a major U.S. market. So guess what? That means you're going to have to see it. That's kind of how marketing works. In order to market towards the casual viewer who isn't ingrained in everything NHL, this is exactly what the NHL needs to be doing to grow the game. Now, as for the game, I'd say he lived up to it. At such a young age, he was all over the puck all night. Over 20 minutes of playing time, plenty of opportunities, a nice little drop pass here to Vlasic, who with plenty of space put it on net, and Donato was there to put it home and make it 2-1 as Bedard officially recorded his first point on the secondary assist. This came after Russ had gotten the scoring started earlier in the first with a nice tip in from Letang, and then Crosby made it 2-0 in the second after getting it back from Gensel, buried it for his first of the year as Sid shows the kid how it's done with a pretty play here. But yeah, with Donato making it 2-1, that gets us over to the third. And if Bedard struggled anywhere, it was in the face-off circle, going 0 for 8 to this point, 5 of which came against Crosby. But just like that, he got his first to start the period, and for Ben's fans, it was all downhill from here. The Blackhawks would score 3 more unanswered, first from Gutman to tie it, then Dickinson would take the lead late, and finally, Foligno sealed it with the empty netter as they took this game 4-2, shutting down my Pens' home season opener. Heartbreaking stuff as the Pens pick up right where they left off last year. Not the start that I wanted to see for them, but a great start for Chicago, who look to be going right from one dynasty well on their way to another. But yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. It is truly awesome to be back. I know I went MIA over summer a bit, but I just needed to take some time. I do have work and just a life outside of YouTube that makes things a little tough sometimes, so it was good.
So I get asked all the time who my favorite player in the league is, and it's Jonathan Huberdeau. Now, that might be a surprise to a lot of you because I wrote him when I thought he was playing awful last year. I'm not afraid to do that.
His name's Johnny Hockey, so you would expect it would be Johnny Gaudreau, but I think he has moved on from Gaudreau. I'm not like, hey, he's fully moved on, obviously, because he probably isn't.
I didn't realize that was
probably is.
Animal noise.
Yeah.
Because he's my favorite player doesn't mean he's immune to criticism. But here's the thing. His 8-year, $10.5 million per season contract, the highest AAV in Flames history, kicks in this season. And we don't need to revisit how bad of a season he had last year. Everybody knows it's time to turn the page. The Flames start the season tonight against Winnipeg, and this is where it all begins. And I gotta tell you, man, I'm really, really nervous about this, because there's no more Daryl Sutter to break things on, getting acclimated to Calgary, new surroundings after being in Florida for a long time. You can't really use those excuses anymore. For Huberdeau, it's time to start putting up some points and showing the hockey world why the Flames wanted to trade for him in the first place. And I'm not just saying that because my fans fantasy team is Min, and I need him to help give me a chance here. Like, can you imagine what's going to happen if this guy has another incredibly underwhelming season? And let's be real, if he does, the Flames probably miss the playoffs again, which is the apocalypse, with Huberdeau, Kadri, Backlund, Markstrom all over 30 years of age, and burning another year of prime possible.
Yeah, Calgary needs to go on the rebuild.
The poor guys had
They need to go on a rebuild as fast as they can. The Flames got a flame in the trade department.
Anything under 75 points is a disappointment for the guy who's supposed to be the face of the franchise here. And in a ruthless division with Edmonton, Vegas, Seattle, LA.
You gotta trade with Seattle or
Personally, I think
Vancouver.
he's gonna have a
Those
really
are
good
your
bounce
two.
back season. I think they spent the entire offseason and summer trying to mold different parts of this team to suit Jonathan Huberdeau specifically. Like, all training camp, we've heard the Flames talk about, we need to value possession of the puck. We need to have fun and play creative hockey. That suits Huberdeau perfectly. They now got Mark Savard as an assistant coach whose play style is almost the same as Jonathan Huberdeau. Obviously not as talented as Huberdeau, but that same type of player. And he's running the power play where Huberdeau's going to get a lot of his cookies. And they're really trying to push some chemistry between him and Lindholm, who's the team's best center and probably even the team's best goal scorer as well. The organization is trying to do everything in their power to make this a successful season for Jonathan Huberdeau. And if it ends up not being, I don't know what else they can do, truthfully. So that's why I'm so nervous about this, and I'm going to be rooting hard for Jonathan Huberdeau to have an awesome comeback season, underdog story kind of from the ashes here. And you can bet every time he gets a point, I'm going to be really happy. And if we're lucky, he'll get 80 plus of those. Give me your point predictions for Huberdeau in the comments down below, and where do the Flames finish in the Pacific Division standings this year? I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Let's talk around Pittsburgh. Sure.
And these are all